Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa aliyu salihin. Wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abdu rasul. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother Gabriel Romani. We're taking your questions from mytaskia.com. Please support the program. Check out the descriptions in the link. And the question comes from a sister. If you come from a culture where the family say that, women should be married in their 20s, not in their 30s, it's going to be very difficult. Everyone just wants the female to be married. Obligation, and so on. Everything's on the family mind. Okay, get married, get married, get married. However, the female has so much anxiety, and she doesn't even know if she's going to be responsible enough to look after children, a family, and so on, and take the role as a wife and as a mother. She has so many other mental health issues, and she doesn't know she can complete that obligation. So she has struggled just maintaining just herself. So, as in, you never know if you would want to get married over the years. You thought into it and it feels that it's best not to marry. It's not because of liking someone else that she can marry or because of zina. She just feels she can take the role of a parent, of a wife, and all of that. So how do we deal with this? It's a complicated question, and I hope I understand it correctly. She mentions mental health issues. Yes, indeed, in some sisters and brothers, some people are not ready for marriage because they're suffering from mental health issues. In this case, the sister is saying, I don't know if I can be a wife, a mother, take the role that the family expects. I think we need to make the distinction between family expectation and what the deen expects from us. Every person has a role in this ummah. Men are defined to be the qawwam, the providers. Now, they theoretically are supposed to have that role. If they do it right or not, that depends on what they do and how they perform. Women are supposed to be supporters, nurturers, and so on. Again, these roles are divinely created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's up to a person to step up, to take upon this role. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be challenges on both sides. But people have to take on these roles. Now, it's not so simple that you just jump into the shoes and just jump into the role and you're just flying. Everything is on cruise control. I know it's not. It is difficult. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, shows us throughout the Quran the difficulties of taking and bearing this kind of responsibility. We need to connect with the Quran better than what we do right now. Mental health is not something that you can ignore. A lot of people do. A lot of people think that, hey, you can just solve it by just making dua. Of course, dua, qiyam, Quran, this is shifa. But a lot of people don't know how to approach that either. And a lot of people don't understand that the Prophet ﷺ himself has done ruqya, but he has also taken the medical means that were available to him at that time to cure himself from many different illnesses. And so did the Sahaba, and so did the Anbiya of old. So we have to understand that and connect that to our current situation and context in the 21st century. When someone suffers, it's not something to be ignored. When someone has trauma, when someone has problems in their lives, it's not something, okay, come on, go and just take this role, you can do amazing, because they might fail very fast and break up a family, break up another individual, cause trauma to them. I'm not saying don't get married, but I'm saying is that our communities, our families have to take mental health much more seriously. We have to educate more about it. Once people talk about it, like for example, my videos, why do a lot of people come to counsel with me and with our team? Because we talk about these serious matters. So what happens is naturally people watch the videos and they say, wait a second, I have this problem. Oh, they're the only ones who talk about this. I feel comfortable to now go and talk to them. When I give a khutbah sometimes, and it's a very powerful khutbah or a speech in a masjid about a specific, clear, taboo topic, people come after, send me questions, text messages, and say, brother, I need to talk to you about this. I've been suffering, and there's no one that I can reach that I can talk about this issue. So people feel comfortable, like they can approach you when we give importance to these things as opposed to just dismissing them. Imams, scholars, teachers, to talk about this, to be trained about this, to understand, and to connect it to the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ. We can see these issues sometimes in the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ. Dua, yes, for example, the old lady who had this problem was she would fall down and she would expose herself. So in this case, the Prophet ﷺ told her to have patience, and she got Jannah. In many cases, like we look at the concept when the Prophet ﷺ was affected with sihr, he sent Ali radiallahu anh to find the hair and the comb and to break the knots. He could have said, I'm just going to make dua, right? No. The Prophet ﷺ, for example, he was treated when he was sick, right? Yes, ruqya, shifa, all these, but they're coupled with taking the means and the asbab in this dunya. For example, we have a tib al-nabawi, the medicine, prophetic medicine. Why? If the Prophet would have just said, make dua, to teach us. The famous hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, that Allah did not reveal a disease except He revealed the cure. And there's a famous book about this, the diseases and cures. So we need to understand this as a community, how important it is to give clear focus on mental health and these kind of problems. Once we do that, inshallah, we can start solving these problems, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So, and the community, again, has to be involved. Guys, we need to raise awareness of mental health issues. We have to. We have to train and encourage Muslims, brothers and sisters, to train and to get involved into education that gives them a career path to help the ummah. Muslims who see through the lenses of Quran and Sunnah, who Quran and Sunnah is the first and foremost, not science and other philosophies. We see it through Quran and Sunnah, and based on that, we help and we cure and we treat, and sometimes even medicine has to be used, and so on and so forth, a combination of the two. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect our ummah. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.